In this session, I'll be talking about entering attendance for classes in SiD. When you first log on, you will see your dashboard. On your dashboard are listed the classes that you are assigned to. For each class, there's a link to the attendance page and 2 additional links for printable attendance and sign-in sheets. I'll talk about those at the end. There are 2 types of classes in SiD for taking attendance. One is called the schedule type, and those are your standard classes where students are expected to be there from the beginning to the end of class. The other type is lab style, and those are when you have an open window of time and students come when they can and stay for as long as they can. We also use those for distance learning. Now, when you click on the name of your class, it will bring you to the attendance screen, which you will notice is pretty blank, except you'll see the calendar on the right-hand side. You must click on the date for which you want to take attendance for that date to become active. Let's take a look at the calendar. Red dates are those dates that are today and others in the past for which you have not yet taken attendance. White dates with black font are days for which you have already completed your attendance. White dates with gray font are days when the class doesn't meet, such as Saturdays and Sundays, or days in the future. You can't take attendance for those yet. And then finally, green dates are for those site holidays where you do not have to take attendance. To start taking attendance, we'll click on the date that we're working on. You'll see then that your class roster will appear. It has the entry and exit times of the class listed here. Also, you'll note that there are teachers, volunteers, and students. Most programs don't take attendance for teachers, so you can just skip those. Volunteers work the same as students. So let's take attendance for the first student. And to do that, you can click anywhere on the name or in this box, and that will assign the complete time of that class. So this one, 4 hours. Now, of course, students sometimes come late or leave a little early, so you must adjust accordingly before assigning attendance. To do that, click the drop down here. You can adjust that they came 15 minutes late. These are in 15-minute increments. You can also adjust if they left early. So let's say they also left early. And then when you give attendance, it'll assign the appropriate time based on how late and early they arrived and left. Continue to take attendance, then click Save Attendance. In a moment, the screen will refresh and you'll see the students who were assigned attendance are at the bottom with the appropriate amount of hours, and those who were not given attendance are still up here. If you realize you forgot somebody, you can still click them, click Save Attendance, and they too will be given attendance. And that is complete attendance for one day. You can go ahead and take another day attendance while you're here. We do recommend that you take attendance every day or at least every other day. Look to see what your program policy is, but we do not recommend that you fall behind. Click on the home page and we'll take a look at lab style class. Again, when you click on it, it's fairly open screen until you click the date you're working on. You notice the difference here is that it lists the start time of this lab. This lab is open from 8 until 4:30 p.m. So it shows the start time and then just a box where you can type in the number of hours the student attended. So let's look at Gloria. We'll say she came right at 8 a.m. Let's say she stayed for 1.25 hours, an hour and a quarter. Notice there's also arrows here, so you could decrease or increase the number of hours by the quarterly increment. We'll say Captain Kangaroo came at 2 p.m. and stayed for an hour and a half. Just like the other screen, click Save Attendance, and now your attendance has been entered. So that's entering for a lab class. And again, you can go ahead and do the next day if you have a couple days to do. Let's go back to the home screen, and we'll take a look at the attendance sheets. If you click Printable Attendance, you will see that a new tab will open, and it'll generate a report that gives you a nice printable attendance sheet for a week. It always defaults to this week, but if you want to adjust any of these items up here, you can do so. If you do make any adjustments, click View Report again to get a new version of the attendance sheet. If you want to print, we recommend that you export it by clicking this button and choosing PDF. That will give you the most user-friendly printable version of the attendance sheet. Now let's go back to the home page. You have to go back to this other tab and look at a sign-in sheet, which works very similarly. Of course, a sign-in sheet just is for one day at a time. Gives you a time in column, a time out column where students can write that, and then a place for their signature. So that is all for taking attendance for classes in SiD.
For help with this or any other SiD-related feature, send us an email at the address on the screen.